Okay, Grandma.
Part 4.
Now we're going to get the most important question of the whole night.
What's that?
Who's your favorite grandson?
Oh!
I plead the fifth on that one.
I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth.
I plead the fifth.
Are you just scared that Ryan's going to see this and he'll feel bad about himself?
I plead the fifth. I
Just remember, you've loved me longer.
I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth.
Okay, so tell me about... So, you got married to Grandpa. After that short of time, but he wanted to pull over and take you into hotels.
But I refused.
But you refused. You were married.
I don't care. I refused.
Okay, so you were married for a little while, and then you went to, and then you got pregnant with.
Oh, honey, we were married 4 years for.
Why? Well,
I was afraid it wasn't legal.
why are you afraid it wasn't legal, Grandma?
Oh, I am kidding. You asked me to be funny.
Don't tell them that.
I didn't say it. No, I wanted you to be truthful.
Well, truthful, I couldn't get pregnant.
You couldn't get pregnant. Okay, so you finally did.
Yes. I had my little boy.
Now tell me about tell me the story about why you only had one child, because you had problems
That's right.
with Daddy, right?
That's right.
What was it?
Because I would have died if I'd have had another child.
So what happened? What did you?
My blood pressure got so high that I had to have him by C-section.
Mm-hmm.
And the doctor warned me after 3 years not to get pregnant anymore. Because if I would have to make a choice. It might come to a point, either my life or the child's life.
Wow.
So that's why I never had another child. I went to a doctor and talked to him about it. And that's why I never had another child. Not that that we wanted another child. But it's best not to have it.
Well, I'm sorry that the one you had to have was my father.
Why? Why?
You could have done so much better, Grandma.
Well, I'd have one like him. But I will tell you this, and I've told plenty of people, I had one child, but when you boys come along, I said this to your mother the other day, I was proud, because I felt like I had 3 sons.
Okay, so tell me about my dad. What he was like growing up.
Here we go.
Well, I had him, he was Grandma thought of him as the perfect child, and he was great.
There are some questions on there about that. They're really good.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the bottom ones.
He was a perfect child all the time. He really was. Wait till he went to college, and that was another story.
Okay, wait. Let's back up. So, what do you believe is the key to a successful marriage?
Sister, trusting each other and loving. Love comes first, and then trust, and never holding secrets or anything from each other. Mm-hmm. I never made a decision that we didn't talk about it.
Well, that's good. Now, Grandma, I will have to say one of the things that I always remember: girls, cover your ears.
Okay, go.
I still remember the day that you told me.
Hold on. Okay, go.
But when you and Grandpa were old enough that you couldn't quite be intimate anymore. I always thought that was a successful part of a marriage.
Look at her face. Can we uncover our ears?
Well, it wasn't me.
Alright, why that's the next
That's on the
question.
man's side. I got him there.
Okay.
He shouldn't have asked that question. I got him.
That's the truth.
Daddy, we heard you. We were going like.
I remember where I was when Grandma told me that. All right. How did you find out you were going to be the parent? How you were going to be a parent the first time? Do you remember when you found out you were going to be, that you were pregnant with?
Actually, I think I did kind of like. I think I was pregnant at one time, and my period didn't go for a month or two, and then all of a sudden, so I may have miscarried that time, but that was before.
The first time, and then
Mm-hmm.
and then it happened again. Do you remember when you?
Heavens no.
Realize this might actually be real and you're going to have a baby? Do you remember that?
Well, we wanted a child. We were married 4.5 years before he was born. We really wanted a child. Mm-hmm.
So why did you choose Billy Dale?
I don't know. I've wondered that.
Oh my gosh.
I do have to ask this question because I've never asked you this question. So it's Billy. Why didn't you choose William or Bill and you went with Billy?
I don't know. I really don't. I have never really kind of figured that one out.
Was Grandpa still running the moonshine
Yeah.
at that time? Do you
My
think that?
grandfather?
Do you think that might have played a part in it, Grandma?
No.
I think it might have.
I have Billy's baby book. And I guess maybe I read through that some with a lot of names, and I know my mother put down there something like Billy Glenn, and I think your granddad's the one that come up with Billy. And the Dale part just came of saying his name is D-A-L-E and mine's Dale. It's two different words.
Mm-hmm. So what was your proudest moment as a parent? Don't think too hard.
When I woke up from anesthesia and it was over, and I kind of was hoping that I had a boy and was wishing it was a girl. And because and he said, "Oh, we got a boy. We got a boy." Your dad over my face telling him. And I guess that was the proudest moment I have.
Oh, that's neat. Let's see. So what did you and Grandpa and Dad, what did you enjoy the most doing as a family?
Always being together.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever we did, we made a trip. I never left him much by babysitters or anything. And we were always together because, yeah, just trips together and,
So as a parent, what do you think was the most important thing you learned as a parent, or the most valuable thing you've learned?
As a parent to a child, that I tried to instill on your dad to always be truthful, no matter what. I would take that if he was always truthful with me, and he never has, as far as I know, lied to me.
So one of the things that I love about my dad, and I think is one of the most neatest things about my dad, is he is, in his choosing profession, he takes care of people and he loves people, and that's what he does, and it's in his teaching and is what he's done in his profession. So how do you think he learned that?
I don't know, but when he told me he was leaving the oil company and going into that, to the funeral home, that's when I almost blew my mind. It took me a long time to accept that that was going to be his choice. Isn't that? Until he sat down and I said, I just can't understand that. I'm telling the truth of this. And he told me, he said, have you ever thought that I'm caring for somebody. And he put it into the point of, you know, like Jesus died on the cross, you know, and taking care of people. And he said, that's what I want to do. So he brought it to a light that I had never thought of, because to me, I was too frightened of all that. Now I look at it completely different.
So why do you think that he wanted to do that? Was that something that he was always a part of who he was when he was growing
I
up?
think that is a part, because he was the one in high school and all, was more caring and concerned about people. And one of the friends that he had, he lost a friend at 15, was 15 years old, died of leukemia. And I know it was things like that has come on. He made all the big money when he was in the oil business.
Yeah.
But that's what he said. And he made me understand. I know I talked to Chloe about it. I really had a problem with it. And now it's completely different. I would not go to funerals. I would not do any of that. I have now, and I see the need to it. And I'm proud of that.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree with you. I felt the same way.
Did you?
Absolutely.
I just didn't think.
Until I understood that it was about taking care of people, and which I think speaks a lot to.
And he's even held funerals himself. So I know, and I'm proud of it. I'm proud now, and I'm proud that he's in the basis now of teaching others and counseling with other people, and I'm proud of that.
Okay, so tell me a funny story about my dad about growing up that maybe nobody knows.
Ooh, I don't know. He tried real hard to be on, what was it? Not Fiddler on the Roof. Maybe it was. No. He did a lot of drama plays. And he would try, he wanted to be lead in one of them. And he learned all of it completely. And who got the lead was one of the trustees' sons got it. And that boy, 2 years out of college and married and lived in Chicago, and he's gone now. Been gone for over 30 years. So you never know what life brings you.
So, let's see, what else about Dad? So, he went off to University of Texas. You gotta send him off.
He was going to Texas Tech. You knew that, didn't you?
No, I did not know this.
You didn't.
So that was
we
the first.
took him out there.
So that was the first bad decision he made in his life, was not going to Texas Tech.
He was going to Texas Tech. We took him out there, drove around all the colleges. He came back, and he got a scholarship to Texas University.
Well, because they would just accept him there. Texas Tech, they were like, man, we don't really need you.
Because
he got accepted at both colleges.
Well, so what you're saying is that my father's not a very smart man because he went to the University of Texas.
that's exactly what you're saying.
I think
No.
that's exactly what you're saying, Grandma.
No, I'm not. Because he had a choice to take.
And he made the wrong choice.
Well, I don't know whether he made the wrong choice. It was left up to him.
And that's what I'm saying. Apparently, your grandson is the one that made the right choice. And that's why I'm your favorite.
Go back to the. I plead the fifth. Plead the fifth.
Well, hey, we'll turn the camera off in a minute and you can tell me that I'm your favorite.
No, he's going to send that straight to Ryan.
Just for the record. Just so you know.
Just for the record.
I will not
So my father made a horrible choice in his life. Terrible.
What about?
Terrible choice to go to the University of Texas.
I'm not going to say.
Where he was with all those liberal Austin people. He's probably smoking dope the whole time. It's crazy.
You got a little belly down there.
That's what I'm saying. Terrible.
Well, what would he have done?
I got mine much later in life.
What about you?
that happened a lot later in life.
All I can say is that you were my first grandchild.
And you've loved me longer. Okay, so let's go back. He made this horrible choice in his life, and he went to the University of Texas.
I'm not going to say flip the flip. All of it was turned to him. Your dad and I both told him he got the scholarship. He didn't have to have that $500 that he got. It was a $500 scholarship.
Wow.
I said, you didn't have to have that. He made the choice of which school he wanted to go to. He made that choice.
You imagine how much better his life would have been had he graduated from Texas Tech University?
I don't know.
He could have been president.
Wow.
Dad, I did not know this.
He really didn't want you to know.
At least we had one person in the family go to the right university in Texas, didn't we?
Please.
You can't get me, boy.
Mm-hmm.
My little sweet grandchild.
No.
My
It's
little
okay.
sweet
It's okay,
grandchild.
Grandma.
You were my first grandchild that I held in my arms.
Oh, so I can't work that with you and Mom, but you can work that with her.
Anyways.
That's
Okay, so this ends up being the whatever. We're gonna. Can you stop this one? We're gonna go into another round after this. Dad, I love you. Should have gone on Texas Tech University.